gonna be the last time I'm gonna be saying episode number 109 of the Shant and Ari podcast. Big announcement, folks. We are now the Two Armenian Men podcast. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, we are literally two Armenian men, right? I mean, it's
Way to be obvious, Dick.
yeah, it's pretty. We're definitely very creative, right?
Creative juices were flowing that night.
Yeah,
That we, came up with this one.
I told Betty. Betty's like, "Yeah, it sounds stupid."
Thanks, Bet.
She still hasn't listened to one episode, but what are you gonna do?
Leo's listened to more episodes than Betty.
We're gonna actually talk about her today too, and what she did at almost caused a scene at Disney. So we'll talk about that later. But
I'm looking forward to that discussion. So, sent you a photo of me with a bunch of wires attached.
I thought you were not like, because what were we texting? I was like, you said like what time we starting, and I said 10 o'clock, and I see that you send that picture. I'm like, are you in the hospital, bro? What's going on?
Let me know when you get out of there.
You need a couple of minutes. Like, what's the deal?
So what I want to do is I want to show you the picture. Let me share a screen real quick.
Okay.
It's funny because I was able to get this appointment a couple of months ago. Hold on one second. I'm trying to see how I can share to my MacBook. The pictures are on my phone.
Mm.
All right, so I was able to get this appointment. So first they did a at-home study. So I had to go and pick up like the machine or whatever. It wasn't even a machine.
So
it
it's
was
at home.
Sensors. Yeah. Well, first
So
it was
it's
at home. And they got a false negative. And the guy's like, it happens all the time, but like we need to like
COVID.
no.
False
What?
negative.
The false negative was the reading that they got for sleep apnea. So I did everything correctly. It's just it didn't get a good enough reading. Then he goes, "Can you come in and do an overnight study?" I'm like, "Oh, Jesus, man!" Like, so I'm like, "Okay, like that sounds like fairly straightforward, I guess." What does it entail? Well, he goes, "You got to get here at like 9 p.m." and uh
Yeah, just a picture of Adi's mustache just popped up. No big deal. Next time, just a little Zoom etiquette, bro. Next time you're going to share something, have the thing ready when you pull it up.
I have it ready, but hold on one second. So, can you see my screen right now or no?
Yeah, I've been seeing it the whole time.
Are you seeing? Hold on. Are you seeing the bed?
Yeah, the room.
Okay. Now I'm going to show you the other thing, which is
the picture that I thought you were in the hospital.
Yeah, and I was, but that I sent you. I don't know what this stuff is, but if you see all these wires, if you're watching this on YouTube, that's how many wires were connected to my skull and body.
How many is that? Like 100 or 50? Like, what is that?
I don't know, bro, but the guy was legit wiring me up from like 9:15 to 10:45. I was so exhausted.
No way.
I'm like, just fucking let me sleep, please. So I get into bed right around 10:45, 11. He goes, yeah, if you have any trouble sleeping, and I was already snoring by the time he said, if you have trouble sleeping, I was so tired. It was like way past my bedtime.
Yeah.
Wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I got to take a piss. And I'm like, all right, I got a bunch of wires attached to my head. How's this going to happen right now? And you saw the bed that I'm in. So it was like fairly comfortable. Like, I just go back to bed with like a raging urge to piss.
Can you piss? Like, are you allowed to like get up and pee?
I don't think you can, but I go, excuse me. And he comes in and he goes, "What's up?" And I'm like, "I gotta pee." Okay, give me 1 second. He comes around, lifts up all the wiring,
So
and
this
like
guy's that's his job. He has to sit there overnight while fucking idiots like you are sleeping.
the best part was he had a full-on British accent. It sounded like a mixture of like Inspector Gadget and James Bond, you know? Like I got all these wires and she goes, "You can't do that." I'm like, okay. So he gives me all the wires again, hands it to me. He goes, "Okay, be careful to not get any pee on the." And I'm trying not to piss all over the thing. Oh man. So anyway, long story short, though, so I get a call the next day with the results, and um, and he goes, "Yeah, you don't have sleep apnea." I'm like, "Nice, okay, so it wasn't a false negative. It was just negative. Good, great."
But do they like test your like sleep? That's not like one of those, right? Where you go, they test like how your sleep is, or it's just for sleep apnea and that's it.
No, they even test how your sleep is. So those wires that they had hooked up to my head were testing out to see exactly if there was any disturbances while I was sleeping. And it turned out that like I was sound asleep, no
Wow.
problem. Like he goes, you'll like sometimes you'll just make noise while you're sleeping. It's normal. But it was fun though because my brother and my dad both have sleep apnea, and
Yeah.
I think their sleep apnea was both picked up by by the at home sleep test. And I was pretty convinced up until a certain point that I had sleep apnea, but
Why
I
did you
guess
think that?
I don't know. I feel like I wanted to think that
Hmm.
because I was getting such quote unquote poor sleep, but it wasn't poor sleep I was getting. It was just taking in a ton of caffeine, not being properly like
So do you sleep better now?
the past like 6 months. Yeah, ever since I got my deviated septum done,
Mm.
it's been a lot better. So I'm just happy I got it cleared up. I'm just like trying to like optimize my sleep as best as I can. But dude, if you snore, dude, getting this test done is like I heard is like life changing when you start wearing the machine, when you
Yeah.
start using the machine every day.
I
But
don't
yeah,
snore supposedly, so
that's great.
I don't know. Yeah, I thought I would.
Why do you think that? Because your dad snores?
Yeah, and you like I think everyone in our family snores. My brother doesn't snore though.
I think it has to do with your weight to height ratio. If you got too
But
much,
I got some pounds on me, bro.
and you got a thick neck too, which
Yeah.
is also a thing for sleep apnea. Nothing. No complaints from Betty.
No,
Not
I mean, I would have heard by now, I think, like
maybe she's a deep sleeper.
no, she says, I mean, I think she's like, I have like a little like loud breathing or something, but not like snore.
Tell us a little bit about your weekend, Shant. I'm excited to hear this.
Yeah. So we went to California, the family for Ali and her sister-in-law's wedding. By the way, funnest wedding I've been to, even because like even ours, I told Betty this is the best wedding we've been to. It's like even better than ours. Like I was
That's so exciting, man, that it was like that. That's sick.
yeah, it was so cool, man. Yeah, just had a really good time. So you saw the videos of Leo
Yeah,
dancing.
he was just dancing all over the place. But he's so cute.
Yeah. So, we'll talk about traveling with two kids, a 2 year old and a 5 month old. And I know we're not the only people who've done it. I know there's like, I see families like 4 or 5 kids. I'm like, Jesus Christ. But we went to Disney, man.
How was that, bro?
If so, there's a lot of stories about Disney, but first, as a just observation, if Disney is a representation of America, we're in trouble, bro.
I think it is. I think we are in trouble.
Yeah, we are. If other countries, like if Russia sends spies, China, they go to Disney, they're like, we have nothing to worry about. Like,
What are these morons doing? They're so stupid. We can't even fuck with them. They're just too dumb. Just waiting in line to get a $13 fucking ice cream.
that sucks. So, all right. That's just my total observation on Disney. It was actually my first. So I've been to Disney World with my friend Vic. We took his my godson. He was like 1 year old. I wasn't paying attention. We were in and out. Like we didn't really do
Disney World.
Yeah. We went for Vic. He wanted to take his son, and I was the godfather. I'm like, yeah, let's go. Me and Betty went too, and it was just we didn't even do rides or anything. We were just like walking around. So I really didn't experience Disney, right? So
That's
this is the first
crazy though. Wow, you've been to Disney World too. Wow.
Yeah. So this time I'm more like observant. I'm more like paying attention to shit. I have kids now and a wife, so I'm like I have a unit to take care of right before you just walk around. You don't give a shit. You're just like whatever, man. Now I got like pay attention. And so first off, going into it, I had a lot of negativity, like negative thoughts about it. I'm like, I hate waiting in line. That's like one of my biggest hates in life is waiting in line. So I'm like already just pissed, right? And
You're a true John. I sound, bro.
yeah,
Irritated, like
yeah. My dad is the worst. If you're online, like for more than 25 seconds anywhere, my dad starts talking, like he's yapping.
Yeah.
Workers.
What is
He's like, oh, must be nice. He's just standing there, like to the workers, like just.
They're paying you guys by the hour.
My dad's just belligerent. Like he just gets drunk all of a sudden when he's online waiting. But so we get this fast pass thing. I don't know if you heard of the fast pass. It's supposed to like cut the line, right? Well, it's not that, but that's in my head. I'm like, it's a thing we're buying to cut the line. That's in my head. That's what I went with. I'm like, I've told myself, I believed, I was hoping that's what it meant. Okay. But it's really not that. Do you know? So fast pass is something where certain rides you have to reserve, right? Within a certain time. So like, let's say the Buzz Lightyear ride, you have to go in the app when you're there, reserve it between 12 and 1 o'clock. And when you get there between those times, you could get to the faster line. Okay. Cause there's 2 lines. You pay a little extra for that. I didn't know that. Or maybe they told me, I didn't want to listen to it. I went first ride I see. Betty's like, oh, because we were there with the other Betty's sister, the kids, like bunch of just fuckers running around, right? We were deep yesterday, the other day. And it was the hottest day of their heat wave they were experiencing too.
What are we talking?
It was like 90 for there. It's like humid. It was like 98.
Oh.
Right. And so I'm pissed because it's hot. Just okay. So you could imagine what I was going through.
Ugh.
Yeah. First ride, Betty's like, oh, that's cool. Josep, my brother-in-law's like, yeah, it's a cool ride. He's like, let me get the kids. So I'm like, all right, cool. I see the line and I just see like another bar on the other side. So I'm like, all right, that's the fast lane. I'm in there, right? I'm first one there. I'm like, great. Just like, I'm like, this fast pass shit is awesome, man.
I do this all the time.
can I buy a fast pass in life? I wonder. Like, I'm just thinking, like, is there something I could pay for, like a monthly, subscription? And and then Josep rolls up. Josep's a cop from Rhode Island, so you could already tell, like, he has that like just dick look, right? Like pissed.
I love this shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's me and him, the kids, and then these two ladies are like, "Where are you going?" And I was like, "We're going on the ride, man." I'm like, right there. You see it? It's
Got the fast pass.
yeah. Like fast. That's right. And she's like, no, that's not for this ride. I was like, no, 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 ma'am. I bought for the whole, like, this.
Paid
I tell her that.
$80.
I told her, I said that. I'm like, no, no, it's for the whole. Like, I got the fast pass. It's okay. She's like, no.
Like you bought Easy Pass. You can just, what is it called for you guys? I forget.
Yeah.
Oh, it's called Easy Pass for you guys.
And she's like, and then and I'm like, hostess like, what's going on? I'm like, I don't know, man. We're talking to Armenia. I'm like, she's saying we don't have like the fast pass doesn't work. And he's pissed already just being there too. Like he's just pissed. I'm pissed. And he's like, all right, let me go see what's going on. He comes back. He's like, yeah, there's no fast pass. I'm like, what do you mean, bro? Like, he explains to me how it works. So he goes away, and then Betty's like, oh, I want to come on the ride too. Now I'm committed, bro. Like, I'm not, because the line wasn't that long, but now this whole time I'm standing there, it got long. So I'm like, I have to commit now. Like, I'm in. So I just stood there, right? And Betty's like, what's going on? I'm like, well, told her what's going on. She's like, whatever. She's like, I'm not moving. I'm like, all right, cool. Like
you found a partner.
Yeah, like I got a backup, like I could crumble by myself, but I'm like, if I have someone else with me, it's like, you feel better.
I can't, I look like a bitch. I can't.
So then they open up there was a few people ahead, but they open up the gate, and then the guy next to us too, there was a guy, he's like, sir, like, ma'am, you can't, that's not the fast pass, like you have to go to the back of the line. And Betty's like, no. Just like just said no. The guy's like, no, you can't do it. Like, you can't go, you have to go, there's no fast pass here, you have to go reserve it. She's like, I know. The guy was like,
stressful.
And then he starts pushing more. He's like kind of getting like a little firm now. He's like, no, like, you guys can't go. Betty's so funny. And I'm just like, oh shit, like it's going down. Like, because usually I'm the one that's like pressing a little bit, and she's just pissed too. I could tell, like, when she's just not in a good mood. And she's like, just don't worry about it. What are you gonna do? Like, it is what it is. She's like, it is what it is. We're staying. And the guy's just shocked at this point. Like, this 4'11" chick is just putting him in his place. And she's like, he's just like goes, like, rolls his eyes and stuff. But he's like, what do you work here? Like, who cares? Just leave it alone. Like, she's like, we're all going. Like, don't worry about it. He's like, well, that's not fair.
The guy didn't even work there?
No, he was just a guy on the line.
Oh my God. Man, get the fuck out of here. Like, buddy, you're going to be 2 minutes late to ride it. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, I don't even know why Betty was even taking him seriously, dude. Like, what are you, an ambassador to Disneyland? Fuck out of here.
Yeah, and I was like, damn, Betty. I'm like, okay, like, like, you're gonna almost make me get into a fight at Disney World, but
you got cash on you to bail me out? They don't take Apple Pay, Betty. You can't bail anybody out with Apple Pay anymore. So anyway, I got a similar story.
Yeah. So I know you have a Disney, but let me continue that story.
Wow.
Yeah, but just in general, why we're in trouble as a country looking at Disney. Okay, so we went to the kids section, right? Like the kids, not like, because there's some cool rides at Disney, bro. Right? I don't know. You've been to Disney World or Disneyland?
Land. We couldn't afford. World. It's too much.
Okay.
Too much money. Because I think you could finish Disneyland in a day. Disney World, you need like a
couple days.
month. Need to take off some time from work, a sabbatical.
Yeah. So, they have the 2 sections or 3. I don't know how many sections they have at Disneyland, but we're at the kids one, right? Where it's like rides where there was a couple rides where Leo, he's 2. He's bored. Like, he's like, all right, this is stupid. Like just stupid rides.
Fast pass expires. You gotta get.
So there was grown ass adults going on these rides by themselves. Not only that, some of them are dressed up as characters. I'm like, what are you guys doing? There was a group of like 18, 20-year-olds. This is a Tuesday. Okay, 18, 20-year-olds. Just like a group of guys, right? Like group of guys. Not the douches like I was, like, you go out with your group of friends to try to get chicks, right? Like that group, like, wife beaters, like trying to be cool, right? Like,
Six Flags, not Disneyland. Six
not
Flags.
Those kind of guys. These were guys that were like pumped to go on rides and shit at the kids section, like pumped. And I just kept seeing these groups and groups, and I'm like talking to Betty. I'm like, babe, why aren't they working? It's Tuesday. If at 18, you need to be working on a Tuesday. Like, Betty's like, forget working. Why aren't they out trying to get chicks or get laid? Like, what are they? Why are they at Disney right now? And some of them are adults dressed up in characters. I'm like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
We got some problems, bro.
It's not Halloween. Halloween week, go to town, man. Get dressed up. Go do whatever. But like, it's September, bro.
Fucking strange. Very, very strange country we are. Very fucking weird, man. Why are we like this? Why do we have to be like? Why do we have to have the reputation for this? Like, you go to the Disneyland in Paris and it's just
cafes and shit.
Even the kids are sitting down, like, observing all the tourists. Like, what? They're very weird. Look at these people. They're very strange. Just very sophisticated. Why can't we be like that?
We're fucking dressing up as Disney characters, and this is the kids section. Again, you want to dress up as Superman, bro? Like, weird, but okay. Like, cool. Mickey Mouse, bro. Mickey, like, what are you doing?
What the fuck are you doing?
And like proud, like walking around, like dude, it's embarrassing.
Like, for this costume, it's $600 for this.
I'm like, you're disrespecting Leo. Like, Leo felt disrespected.
Look at him, like you're Dad, making it very weird for all of us.
And he's like, Dad, you see this idiot?
What is this? So we had an incident back when I was
how old were you when you went to Disney?
Well, I was like 7. I think I want to say it's like 1996. Tupac was still alive. He had just released.
Kobe just got drafted.
All Eyes on Me. It was a great year. Great year. Actually, it was a terrible year because Tupac got shot that year and Biggie got shot the year after. It was a bad year. But
I remember those days, man.
Yeah, it was. Anyway, so we were at Disney, just us 4, just me, my dad, my mom, and Sako. And you haven't seen Impatient until you see your dad at Disney. You haven't seen Impatient yet.
And I'm impatient, but just imagine 2, like your dad and my dad. It's not that they were together. 2 Middle Eastern immigrant pissed off guys standing in line, like at a Disney. I could just picture your dad.
He didn't. That's the problem. Let me explain to you what happened. He refused to wait in line. He was smoking his cigarette at the line, where the rope for the line starts. But then there's another line that leads up to the rope.
Yeah.
And he's just there. And he's like, He's basically telling us to cut the line where the rope starts.
And were they allowed to smoke at Disney?
Yeah, man, it was 96. You can do whatever the fuck you want. And even if it said no smoking, that wasn't gonna stop him. He's
That wasn't
outside.
the thing back then. Nobody gave a fuck, man.
Yeah, bro. Like, all right, sir, can you at least not blow it in Mickey's face? He's in a costume. It's 97 degrees. Can you just spare him the cigarette smoke?
Just smoke it on the kids or something. Yeah, just blow it on the kids. Yeah.
Yeah, blow it in the kid's face, man. What are you doing? Mickey's gonna smell like shit. So my dad's he's doing this at every single line, and we don't have much time. We have from like 10 a.m. to 1:30 to get things done. He's like,
Why?
we gotta go to your uncle's for kebab. Like, we're at Disneyland. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that is such an Armenian move, like parent move. Like, oh no, we only got 2 hours. We have to go see fucking Hosep at
Oh,
Hosep.
so
Like what?
we're there. He's trying to rush through Disneyland. Like, oh, I did a good deed. I took my kids to Disneyland, and we went. This is the day I got traumatized. And I could still remember the fat lady's face. She was so angry at my dad and me. My dad makes Sako cut, and it's like my turn now, but I have no idea what's going on. I'm only like 6 years old.
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah. Madir, Ari, go in. Yeah. And I'm like, I go in, and some lady pops out of nowhere. And she goes, you can't cut. Don't cut. What are you doing? You can't cut. Turn around, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And I look back at my dad, and I'm like, Bob, are you seeing this? And he's like this. He goes, go.
So he committed. He committed. Like he did.
What the fuck are you doing? Go. Your brother's over there. I'm like, do you not see this lady going crazy right now? What do you mean go?
So he didn't waver, huh? Like he didn't waver.
No. What do you He goes, fuck this girl. Go. Bro, I've been traumatized about cutting lines my whole life because of this. I always look, am I cutting somebody right now? She was so angry at me. And I'm like, I'm only 7. What are you doing? To get arrested. I'm like, what's going on? Paco's up there. He's like waiting for me, like, are you coming? I'm like, I'm about to get eaten. I don't know.
Taco Bell has no clue what's going on. Just like,
what are you doing? Baba said to just go. What are you doing? I'm like, yeah, but he doesn't know that I'm about to get ass raped by this thing.
yeah. Oh my god, that's hilarious.
So yeah, I haven't been able to really cut in line anywhere.
Yeah, so you wouldn't have been be able to rock with me and Betty at Disney then.
No, bro. Fuck no, I would have been apologizing for everything. I'm sorry, please. Don't report us to the authorities.
And then the next, so just sorry to really jump back, but the next ride, because after we did our, just me and Betty went on with Leo, and the others didn't come on. They didn't commit. They kind of wavered a little bit. Betty up to her guns. And the next ride, I see like Josep in the line, and then Betty rolls up, just like, all right, let's. So she went under the ropes, all under the ropes, and did that, and then people like kind of looking around, and Betty's like, "Don't worry about it. It's okay. I'm from Arizona." It's like, it's all right. She said, "I'm from Arizona. It's okay."
We're on a tight schedule. She pulled the fucking Hovannes from 96 on them.
There is another part to this. I don't know if I'm able to say it though, man. It's so bad.
Why? What do you think that's going to happen? Are we going to get canceled?
No, it's not canceled. But all right, fuck it. we noticed there's lines also. If you're in a wheelchair, you could cut the line.
What did you do?
And I'm just like, like sick, like this.
You started limping?
No. So, one of the sisters were on their way. They were running late, and everyone, not me, I wasn't involved in that decision. It was like, just grab a wheelchair, tell them you're sprained your ankle, and they got a wheelchair and were able to cut the.
You're fucking kidding me. The whole family just at that one wheelchair got them through.
All right, 12 of you, come on in.
It's okay. She's handicapped. We have to go with her.
The best part is after it's like, why is she here?
What? That's just an insurance thing. We just put that just for.
Yeah, it's like you should be home resting.
Put some ice on that.
The best part, bro, we're going the whole day, just fucking hitting it. I'm just pumped, rolling through. I feel fucking, special. Like, hey, you guys get out of the way, please. Just coming through.
Clear the area. We have fast pass. We're the only people here who have fast pass.
So 5-6 rides later, we get to one, and because I always go to the front. I'm like, hey, we got the wheelchair person. How do we get through to the And this one person's like, oh no, there's no way to get to the front. You just have to wait in line. I'm like, wait in line. I'm like, she's in pain.
You guys to get to the hospital after this. The last ride today.
Bro, I ended up getting offended. I'm like, how do you not let a wheelchair person through?
She's not even handicapped.
I started believing it. I'm in my head. I'm like, what's wrong with you? And I was
humanity here.
Yeah, and it's something like disgust. I was leaving disgusted at her. I'm like, lady, come on, dude, it's disgusting.
It's not. It's. Can I have a talk with you?
Can I talk to your manager? Call your manager, please. This is unacceptable. Just
so many Karens at that place, probably too, man. Yeah, see, I don't want to go back there. I don't like the idea of.
So you would hate to be with me because I'm pulling shit, bro. Schemes, even though that wasn't my idea, I was kind of against it, but I was not fighting it.
The thing is that you had Leo backing you up too. He was also doing the friendly bullshit, smiling at people.
Yeah, him walking. He's like, yeah, don't worry about that.
Does the whole fucking Holitzy bullshit with you. So, happy you told me about all this. Makes me feel a little bit more comfortable about my misfortune at Disney.
So I guess, for everyone listening, I guess, I don't know, man. I feel that's super fucked up to do. It's super just wrong.
That is kind of fucked up. I'm not gonna lie.
I didn't even want to say it, bro. I did not want to say it. But I guess there's a way for people to. So
how does one go on a ride with a wheelchair? They just leave the wheelchair there and then get on.
And then you limp to the ride real quick.
Who is the limper?
I can't. And they were limping too. They were playing the fuck.
The guy's like, did you just say it's your right? Your right leg was this thing? Why is she limping on the left? It's just strange.
I'm not going to say who it was. It was not me, though.
Yeah, anyway. So, very, very interesting. Was that your first time going to a theme park in LA?
Yeah.
They got a bunch of them. They got Six Flags, they got Disneyland, they got a water sort of park. I've been to a few of them there. Orlando, not Orlando, sorry, the Universal Studios. Mm-hmm. They got quite a few.
I went to Universal with Zorab once.
Me too. Took you to Universal.
Yeah.
Did you guys stay for the fireworks?
No, no.
So anyway, so was doing a little bit of thinking. You at one point messaged me talking about tonight's topic, which I don't think we're even gonna really get through a lot
No.
of because we're already fucking 40 minutes deep on this
Yeah, Disney.
Disneyland discussion, but it was very, very important to actually talk about. It's funny, you sent a message to me and it stopped me dead in my tracks mentally thinking about it. Shant discussed the starting of a business if you're Armenian and like how that differs from just starting a business or starting a business fresh. As in like Shant moved to Arizona, where he started his life all over from scratch with no connections, as opposed to being, having the option available to him of doing this in New Jersey with, a community sort of backing him up. I had the opportunity of starting a business too, actually, that had the full support of the community. And quite frankly, the second one would not have succeeded had it not been for the Armenian community. However, that also comes with a cost that I don't think, Shant, you've ever actually considered what that cost is, as in of actual disadvantage to investing your luck, putting the luck of the business into the hands of the Armenian community, relying on the Armenian community to be your first customers,
Yeah.
be your marketing people, and that. How much of what I'm saying do you think that you have an idea of what I'm talking about right now when I say that there is a certain disadvantage when you're investing um, your long-term success into the Armenian community helping you do it?
How does the community help you?
No, no, no. How does that sound when I tell you there is a big disadvantage to that when you're relying on them to help you?
I would think the other though, no? I would think that the community helping you would be the first, would be an asset and a necessity.
So just like how they can full-blown support you, they could full-blown now stop everybody from coming to your business in a heartbeat within a matter of a few people just telling their circle to stop going there. The idea behind starting a business in a community and relying on the Armenian community to support you is can definitely sustain your business for a few years and can definitely get you through for years to come. However, you are now an employee of the Armenian community when you do that. God forbid you make any major mistakes, you slight somebody in the Armenian community, you do something to really jeopardize your reputation in the Armenian community outside of work, as in you do things publicly that tarnish your name, your personal, your individual name,
like
as
your
opposed to your
brand.
business name.
Yeah, like your brand, your personal brand.
Right. It could immediately impact your business and all that work that you put in to the community supporting your business will likely disappear very quickly
Do you
based
think
off
that
of
happens? Do you think that happens a lot?
yeah. Yeah.
More in the Armenian community?
I think that it's a lot easier to fall apart quickly when you're in a community that can spread the news of your irresponsible behavior that quickly. When I'm talking about my American customers, that if I go to a nightclub, a lot of the people that are there, if I wasn't Armenian, won't know who I am and what I'm doing. Like if I'm hitting on a girl and I'm like sloppy drunk,
Yeah.
you know, nobody's going to realize this and put two and two together, and this is not going to really impact my business. But if I go to a barahantes, if I go to an Armenian dance and I'm sloppy drunk and I'm hitting on somebody's wife, soon enough, this is going to impact my business directly. They're gonna start saying this guy is an arrogant drunk who is a pervert. You know, they're gonna start telling their wives, "Don't go to this guy's store," or like the grandmas will completely stop because they'll lose respect for me. So starting a business in the community has its pluses, but it also comes with a very high cost. So with that being said, I was thinking about this. Had it not been for the Armenian community, I've said this multiple times, I don't think we'd be successful in both our catering business and my consulting, the BAC business. What are your thoughts on what I'm telling you? What sort of things come to mind? Like when you imagine what I'm trying to tell you, like how reputation management, initial success. What do you think? Do you think that the cons outweigh the positive in this sense?
So I think it depends, man. Like, I mean, I think the cons, the pros outweigh the cons, right? Because just thinking about it, um, if a business fails within the first what, 5 years, 2 years?
I would say two.
It's what, 80% business fail the first 2 years?
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. Adi's just flexing on the camera with his 3,500 calories a day, which is crazy.
Kind of fat. Yeah. Getting kind of fat, I'm not going to lie.
So with that being said, if the Armenian community or any community could help you get your foot through the door and running, I think the fact that businesses go out of business so frequently, I think it's an added plus, man. I think it's great, but I think it's great unless you're not trying to diversify and market and try to bring in, just not just Armenians, right? Because if that's the case, you're pigeonholed, right? And you're not diversified enough in who is buying your products or whatever. Because so my cousin, owns a restaurant in California, and he was mentioning how like he gets all types of people coming through, and it's just like that takeout business really helps him, right? And so real quick side topic, this may piss a lot of people off, but I don't, I'm up for anyone to debate me on this. What is it? Rafi's kebab place in Glendale, right? It's called Rafi's. Yeah, Rafi's place. Fucking overrated. Sorry. They say it's the best kebab place. Overrated. Carousel, way overrated. I think the best kebab place, Middle Eastern food in California, it's not just because he's our cousin, Coco's Middle Eastern restaurant. It's legit the best, bro.
Very interesting. Why do you say that?
Bro, the food, I don't know, man. Like
the kebab or the appetizers?
The appetizers,
not the ambiance.
Yeah, it's not the ambiance. He says he was talking about it with my dad. It's like, I don't care about the ambiance. I need, turnover as far as like takeout and stuff like that. That's what keeps them going. Because they're not going there. Like Carousel is a beautiful place. It's nice. It's thing. His appetizers are fucking bomb. The kebab, it's soft, it's juicy, it's tender, right? Just the flavoring is so much better than the other ones, man. Just my opinion, man. I just think.
Very interesting. Wow. I love Rafi's place. I've never ate at our cousin's place.
You should next time you go. And I'm not just saying that
That's
because
that's a decent plug that you just did over there. That's awesome.
yeah. I was gonna Instagram it too, but even Betty says it's not, and Betty's not like, oh, it's your cousin. I'm gonna say, she's like, dude, Carousel sucks compared to this.
Yeah, carousels. It's I don't know what it is. It just lacks that. It doesn't put you over the edge, over the
No.
you know.
It's more a good place to go, relax, enjoy, have fun, and that's what you're going to Carousel for. But yeah, sorry. Back to the topic.
So there, the idea behind running a business in the community is for example, if you have a business like mine, initially we needed the Armenian community badly, caterings, takeout, spreading the word about it. But I think that if you can rely on the Armenian community in the very beginning, it's huge. But your main goal is to put yourself in a position where it's the Armenian community is irrelevant to you. That's just another pool of business that you're constantly thanking and making sure that they're happy. But that doesn't make a difference in terms of your um likelihood of success in the future. As in, if you were to fuck up your reputation
Yeah, you're
in
done.
the Armenian community, it at this point will not impact your future business. But if you're, say, a jeweler that does absolutely no marketing, but hearsay, you did some business for one Armenian guy, the Armenian guy told his, his cousin or this and that, and like the word travels around about you that you're a great jeweler. Wow, okay. And all of a sudden you got, caught slapping your wife at a barantes, and all of a sudden you lost all your business because you're known as the wife beater.
Yeah. Yeah. No one's going to go to you.
No one's gonna go to you anymore because you're known as the weird creep that hits his fucking wife in public.
So continue with your point. Sorry if you had another point to that.
The idea is to use the Armenian community as a initial marketing tool, make them very, very happy. That's not to say that you're using them and just throwing the Armenian community to the side, but they can be massively helpful, especially to a person, Shant, like you, where, for example, if you had moved to Arizona and you were one of few Armenian realtors, you could have relied on the Armenian community there
Yeah.
to help you propel your business. But the fact remains is that you were probably one out of many Armenian realtors, and you didn't have a community. You were the new guy.
Yeah. I wasn't in the community.
Right. So just having that initial boost is huge. It's absolutely massive when you have, 100, 200, or 300 people that are remembering and marketing you, as opposed to having no people and having absolutely no social proof. And this is the key concept in success with business, is having social proof. When you're Armenian doing business, you have social proof. You have word of mouth working for you automatically, even if they haven't done business with you, because they can vouch for you socially.
Yeah.
They have faith in you. Whereas when you're not, you have zero, you have nothing. You have to do that first two. Being Armenian buys you your first year or two in business because you have people that already trust you, which is
100%, man. It's a huge thing. Huge.
a huge benefit. Huge benefit. Being Armenian and starting a business, you're already at an advantage. And I will argue this to the death. If anybody who says I hate doing business with Armenians, it's like you're a
I've
fucking
heard that.
moron.
I've heard that for sure.
I can't stand hearing that. I'll get customers that are like, oh, like I'm sure you get annoyed dealing with Armenian. I'm like, I fucking love us. I'll do business. I'll pick an Armenian to do business with over any other person because at the end of the day, I know they got my back, even if my Muhammad doesn't come close to their
Standard.
mother-in-laws.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
give a shit less. But in the greater scheme of things, the guy's going to be like, "Oh, his Muhammad is second best to my mother's." It's like, all right, great. Like look how he's hyping you up.
and the funny thing is,
Number two,
he'll tell you like, "Hey, Adi, it's not as good, but it's good. It's good. Thank you." It's just
yeah. Just next time, please.
so that's the beauty. Like they'll tell you, Armenians will tell you when you're just not doing good.
It's funny. I was at church last Sunday, and I go downstairs to have coffee hour or whatever. And one of my really good customers comes and he says, my kebab recipe, it's not meant to satisfy like the typical guy from Syria.
Yeah,
Meant to
yeah,
satisfy like Jack or Tim from up the street, which is pretty much like 90% of my clientele now.
yeah.
He comes up to me, he goes, something changed with your guys' kebab recently. And bro, he was spot on. We stopped using the red pepper paste from Turkey to marinate the chicken
Oh
kebab. And I
shit!
go like this, I'm like, come here, I gotta tell you something. But I had to do it quietly. So I'm saying it on the podcast now because I know we only have like 30 or 40 people that are probably gonna hear this. And I go, you're 100% spot on. But stays between me and you. We stopped you, and he goes like this shit is getting deep. What's about? What are you about to tell me? We stopped using red pepper paste for the kebab. We're making our own with canned and fresh pepper. So please, just take it easy on us, okay? Trying to do good by us
Yes.
and stop buying from Turkey. Can you just take it easy?
Yeah, support a little bit.
But I appreciated so much that he came up and he said something. I'm like, I'm gonna tell my dad. I'm happy you told me, but I'm like, have mercy on us. We're trying not to buy Turkish. And he was just like, my guy, like
That's
my
awesome.
bad.
You gotta love Armenians. I said that's awesome. You gotta love Armenians. They're pretty. We're pretty honest, man. Like if your shit's slacking, we'll let you know. But real quick, can I flip it on you for a second?
No,
And we might not have too much. Yeah, and we don't have too much time. So I don't. If this is a too long of an answer, what do you tell the young person, guy or girl, in 18, 19, 20 years old? Because this came up with my cousin on my mom's side. We I was with them. They came over to see us and talking about her son. He's 17, 18. What do you say to the kid that wants to get into business, but you get a lot of negative talk from the family, like, no, go do something, go to school, or go get a job, so it's risky, like, because we get that, not all the time, but most times you're going to get that from the Armenian family of like, no, don't do it. What do you say to that person? Because that's a lot of pressure.
I think it ties back to what I just said. I think that they got to really sit down and think about how he benefits from the Armenian community, as in what would happen by him going into business and failing in the Armenian community. Would he be jeopardizing the future of him being able to rely on the Armenian community? Like, would he be starting a business that would compromise his reputation in some way? Or is it something where, he's going to try and start a restaurant and he's just going to be embarrassed if it doesn't work out. And the Armenian community would obviously be open-minded and, try to give him another chance after. As opposed to like, oh, he's going to be a dog groomer and like he fucked up every single person's dog that was coming in. Nobody trusts him with anything with his hands because clearly he couldn't do that. So like, why would I trust him with my jewelry?
So that's the approach. Okay. I would think you would go more along the lines of like, hey, block out that stuff. Don't listen.
I wouldn't say block it out. I would say think about what the Armenian community would be doing for you and is doing for you. So if they're not doing shit for you, or if their opinion really, really doesn't matter, then block it out 100%. But if it does matter, if you're hoping to stay in that Armenian community, if you're hoping to raise kids in that Armenian community, I think that you really got to let it, you got to let the pros and cons of losing their respect really have some weight in your decision, bro. Giving up your reputation and giving up the trust that the Armenian community has in you is not something that I take lightly. It's not easy. We grew up with this for a reason. We were constantly yelled at about this for a reason. So if you're going to do something and you're risking your reputation in the Armenian community, make sure that what you're doing is worth the risk, because there is no coming back from that. There isn't. There isn't. The Armenian community is very harsh. If you fuck up, it will remain on the record. Like, this guy is a piece of shit. Be careful around him.
Yeah.
So if you're going to start a business and you're hoping to not get ostracized from the community, really weigh out exactly what the community means to you. I got to be a nice guy in a lot of my interactions in business.
Yeah.
And I don't mind being a nice guy in my interactions in business, even if that makes me look a little bit weaker than I am. Why? Why? Because it's good for business. It's good to be a good businessman. It's good to be a good, not politician, but just diplomatic in any sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Be a bad boy in business. It's not.
I like it.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense, man. I never thought
old school for you.
Yeah, no, I didn't think of it that way, but it makes sense. I mean, I didn't think of that at all because there's not that kind of Armenian community here. So that's why I had that what you just laid out this past 15 minutes, I've never thought about.
It's very important to keep your reputation in mind, bro. If you're going to take a risk and you haven't fucked up yet, but everybody's attention is on you to see if you're going to fuck up or succeed, you better make damn sure that you succeed. Because if you fuck up and look like an idiot, there's no coming back from that.
Yeah.
All faith in you, all trust in your ability to perform is lost. But when you don't fuck up and you prove everybody wrong, that's when you're a king in the Armenian community's eyes. That's when you're legitimately the fucking man. So if you can do, Shant, how you did, got up and moved to Arizona, not knowing anybody, and became successful in real estate, your community in New Jersey, your community in Boston, your extended community in all these places is looking and saying, I was wrong. Now I trust Shant even more for what he did. Why? Because he made sure that we didn't say anything bad about him. He made sure we didn't have the discussion, the conversation about did you
Yeah,
hear about how Shant?
you're right. And that would be a thing. Even me being in Arizona, the shit would have traveled to New Jersey and it would have been like, yeah, you see, we knew Sean was gonna, mess up.
Yeah, we knew he was a flop.
Yeah. So that's crazy you say, because it's 100% true. Even Boston, it would have been trickling a little bit.
Yeah,
Like, oh, you see
everybody
Adi's
has it in the
cousin?
back of their mind. Everybody has it in the back of their mind. Like, oh, I don't give a shit what they think, but I'm gonna make sure that I don't fuck up because I don't want them to have the benefit of talking badly about me. It's all a fucking game, man. But this is the game that keeps you afloat, bro. You got to make sure you don't have anything bad on you. Not so much because you give a shit, but so much that
Affects you. Yeah, it matters.
yeah, you want to feel confident in yourself all the time. Anyway, um, leaving this discussion on this note, I know you got to go, but yeah, it's Armenian community is very important to me in business. Very, very important. Love you guys. Love you Armenians. Legitimately, not because I'm trying to make sure my business stays. If I don't, my business is going to stay afloat regardless. I just love you guys like my
Yeah,
fucking lifeblood, you know?
I feel you, man. 100%. I'm with you.
Well, good talk.
All right. Well, that's all I got, man.
Two
Next week,
Armenian
are
Men
we
podcast.
what? Two Armenian Men podcast.
Armenian
Yeah.
Men podcast.
Dumbest name in podcast history, but we're going with it. According to Betty. So next week, do we have a special guest coming?
Yes,
We have
next
to
week,
say
tune in.
because things come up, things happen. But we do have a special guest, right?
Yeah, we're gonna be talking a lot about how Armenians are foreign men are they're in for a good conversation about Armenian men, foreign men.
And this person is very qualified, right?
Yeah, I might get ripped next week. By the way, I might get. She's a she's not gonna take it easy on me. I might
Okay.
actually just shut up and just listen and just not even talk.
Yeah. I'm gonna hear Betty in the background, like, see, I told you, like
I'm gonna be on the podcast like this, listening, not even look. Just anyway.
okay. Hopefully we get to that, man. 'Cause I've been excited for that one. So I thought it was
Yeah,
tonight.
gonna be a
But
nice one next week.
well, cool.
Good night, Shant.
Good night, everyone.